From the day I felt directionless and stuck in that boring PR job at 25, it took me what felt like forever to becoming a full-time digital marketer making six figures. That was 3 years in PR making 40K, then landing my first digital marketing role as a special projects manager, getting promoted from ad operations manager to senior ad operations manager, and finally making it to media strategist in the corporate world. But this was because I followed the traditional path to digital marketing. I have 2 college degrees and was self-taught through colleagues and internal trainings. Then I slowly worked my way up the corporate ladder. But can you become a digital marketer way faster? Absolutely. I spent countless hours learning theoretical marketing concepts that I'll never use on the job, and I've watched people struggle for years trying to figure out this industry on their own. So I often ask myself, if I could go back in time knowing what I know now, what would I do differently? That's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'll remove all the fluff and tell you the fastest way to go from zero to full-time digital marketer in 3 to 6 months. And throughout this video, I'll share the 3 major mistakes every beginner makes on their digital marketing journey, so stay tuned for those. The first thing you'll need to do is pick a digital marketing specialization. In the context of getting a job as soon as possible, here's my criteria. We want a specialization that is easy to learn, where the concepts are straightforward and the tools feel intuitive. But because we only have 3 to 6 months, we don't care if this specialization has the most career paths available. We just care that there are enough job opportunities to keep us busy and to teach us the most important marketing fundamentals. Finally, we don't want a specialization that is overly complex because we simply don't have the time to master advanced attribution modeling, complex marketing automation to accomplish very simple campaign goals. Many of you may have guessed the specialization I'd recommend if you're trying to learn digital marketing and get a job as quickly as possible. Google Ads is definitely a strong way to go. It's very straightforward to learn, and for the most part, the interface feels like common sense. It's used in everything from e-commerce to lead generation to brand awareness campaigns. It's one of the most direct marketing channels out there. You can accomplish some incredibly effective campaigns in just a few weeks of learning. This will come in handy when you're building your portfolio. Also, when you end up doing job interviews where you'll need to explain your strategic thinking in about 30 minutes. With me personally, I started off learning Google Ads through a Google Grants opportunity at the nonprofit where I was working in PR. And through that, it taught me all the practical principles like keyword research and campaign optimization and audience targeting. It's actually pretty exciting. Google Ads is really immediate to see results. It's satisfying to get campaigns up and running. So I'm telling you to start with Google Ads because it's straightforward to learn and it's versatile. You can go from nothing to seeing your first campaign live in less than a day, and you can build meaningful results with it very quickly. People often underestimate the importance of enjoying what you're doing and having success early on. But remember, you're in this for the long haul. You're learning digital marketing now to get a job in 3 to 6 months and become a full-time marketer and potentially devote a whole career to that endeavor. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're gonna burn out. Other specializations definitely have their benefits, but you can pick them up later. Remember, the important thing here is not that you know everything, it's that you know just enough to get that job in 3 to 6 months. And then you have the rest of your career to keep growing. Having solid Google Ads fundamentals will allow you to accomplish all this and much more. Now that we agree Google Ads is a specialization to learn, let's talk about how to learn it. And this is also where most beginner marketers make their first major mistake. And that mistake is that they learn by watching, not by doing. Most beginner marketers go to YouTube, they look up Google Ads tutorials, they filter by views. They find something highly rated, something that's 10 plus hours of content, then they watch the entire playlist like it's a Netflix series. Unlike their favorite Netflix show, they don't get to the end. And that's because 10 hours of recorded content doesn't equate to 10 hours of actual work. You're gonna wanna pause, rewind, rewatch, Google things, try to really understand what's going on. That's like watching a marketer run campaigns for 100 hours, then sitting down yourself and expecting to be able to optimize a Facebook campaign on your first try. Doesn't work like that. You learn by doing. So what's the right way to learn? I'll tell you. First, I'd highly recommend CourseCareers because the digital marketing program there is truly top class. This is Willie. He was a truck driver. He learned digital marketing skills through CourseCareers and landed his first remote role within a few months. I actually coach students in that program, and it has been a different experience from traditional education. Working with students is so much more hands-on. You can go through real-world problems and solve them in real time, not just creating fictional scenarios like you do in a college course exercise. Filter by the beginner level and look for a program that is highly rated and has enough practical content. And finally, check out the course plan. This is really important. There are 3 things you want to look for. First, make sure that there are actual hands-on campaign builds so you can apply the knowledge you'll be learning. Second, be sure that there are some real client projects use current marketing tools and platforms. And third, and probably most importantly, try to figure out if this program is something that interests you, if it excites you, if it's something that you'll enjoy coming back to. Going back to the concept of fun, if you're not going to enjoy setting up Google Ads campaigns or analyzing performance data, then you're not going to finish the program. It just feels like a drag. And yes, I know that there are tons of free resources out there. YouTube itself has some great content. And even platforms like Google Skillshop have courses that are free. But I personally believe in the value of putting your money where your goal is. By investing in yourself, you now have skin in the game, and you're more likely to come back and keep going because no one likes to waste money. If anything, treat this as an investment in yourself, in your future, one of the best investments you'll ever make. What I think people misunderstand about college versus programs like CourseCareers is that online courses like CourseCareers are more agile. They can adjust to the times. Trade schools and college spend a lot of time on theory. It's hard to change the curriculum as industries change. Marketing changes so rapidly that you can leave college with no practical skills for any sort of modern marketing techniques. Everyone asks me what program I recommend, and I'll be direct with you. I don't think you can go wrong with the CourseCareers digital marketing course. It's very comprehensive and it has some great results from students. I coach there, so I see the outcomes firsthand. Remember, practice makes perfect. So once you finish the program, you have some experience under your belt, it's time to look for more projects. I'd highly encourage you to take courses, get certified in Google or Facebook Blueprint, find project work on Upwork or Fiverr, build your portfolio and resume, expand into more freelancing, or apply for full-time work. Network as much as possible. The point here is not to build the perfect campaign, because you probably won't with just basic knowledge. The point is that you develop something and you have something to show for your efforts. Building your portfolio with as many examples as possible is something most people don't do during the job search. That would make it much easier for them to land a job. Offer to work for free if you need more experience. So where do you find these additional project ideas? Well, there's tons of case studies online, and I'd highly encourage you to study them. They have some really detailed breakdowns of successful campaigns. I'm personally a really big fan of studying campaigns from different industries. E-commerce, SaaS, local businesses, and they're ordered from simplest to most complex. So again, the barrier of entry is really low. You start, you can do a little bit, then you keep getting better and better. With your newfound Google Ads knowledge, you're ready to dive right in. So far, we've talked about learning digital marketing. What about the getting a job as fast as possible part of this video? Well, in many ways, all the work you've done so far, all the campaigns you've worked on, the stuff you've built with real marketing tools, that's what a digital marketer would do. So you're like a digital marketer without the official title. All we have to do is get that job now. Because think about it. You used Google Ads Manager, you used Google Analytics, you used Google Tag Manager for tracking, you put your campaigns somewhere, maybe documented results. This is all the stuff real world digital marketers do. And most importantly, you built campaigns, a lot of campaigns. You built campaigns that didn't work, and then you optimized them, you fixed them, you improve them, and then you rinsed and repeated. And that's all that I do as a full-time digital marketer. And as you build out your campaigns, you'll think of optimization opportunities, all the ways your target audience will interact with your ads. And this is all stuff I think about every day as a full-time digital marketer. So by learning digital marketing, you're also learning how to do the job. Once you finish a project, make sure to document all the results, put them in a portfolio where you can slowly start building out your marketing case studies. Including your portfolio on your resume is also a great way to show experience and initiative. Two things recruiters absolutely love. So the chances of you securing a first round interview at a great company will be way higher. Once you have a bunch of personal projects, strong resume, and you feel confident in your marketing abilities, it's time to apply for digital marketing opportunities. But wait, before you're ready to pass marketing interviews, you'll have to interview prep. You see, in an ideal world, your campaign experience would speak for itself. You just show up, explain your strategy, and get the job. But in the real world, companies like to test your strategic thinking. Marketing companies love to ask a very specific style of interview questions revolving around campaign optimization and strategic frameworks. If you went to a business school, probably remember learning about marketing funnels and customer acquisition costs. It's a bunch of strategic stuff that you might not use every day, but we're trying to get a job and it's necessary. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to learn this too. Lucky for us, there's some really great programs that allow us to ramp up really quickly. The most important thing is that whatever program you pick, you finish it. you keep going. Since we're already proficient in Google Ads, I'd highly recommend you check out more advanced marketing strategy content. Learning about attribution models and customer lifetime value and marketing mix optimization. I know all this probably sounds overwhelming right now, but I promise once you study these concepts, you'll be ready. All this will make sense. But understanding the theory isn't enough. Again, we need to practice. We need to keep on doing. Practice explaining campaign strategies out loud. Practice walking through optimization process. The great thing is you can do this with your own projects. Explain what you did, why you did it, and what results you achieved. They also want to understand your thought process. So you can be confident when explaining your strategic thinking. Make it a habit to practice explaining one campaign strategy per day. Start with simple optimizations. Spend 15 to 20 minutes fully walking through your approach. And if you're comfortable, you can move on to more complex strategic questions. If you get stuck, you can research best practices. If you still need help, you can look up case studies. If you do look up examples, make sure you fully understand the strategy, close out the example, then try to explain the approach again in your own words. Once you're able to confidently explain campaign strategies and optimization in about 20 minutes or so, you can tackle more complex marketing challenges. There's no magic number of practice sessions after which you're suddenly ready to pass marketing interviews. Instead, I focus on understanding different types of campaigns, search campaigns, social campaigns, email campaigns, and understanding the strategic patterns. So if you ever get a question, you know how to approach it. This is actually the second big mistake beginner marketers make. They don't know when to stop practicing and when to start interviewing. They do too much strategy preparation. The truth is, interview experience matters just as much as all the theory you're learning. If you want to be able to handle anything that they throw at you, start interviewing as soon as possible. Schedule the companies you don't care about first. So if you mess up the interviews, it's okay. It's no big deal. The more interviews you do, the better you'll get at it. So as you continue practicing your campaign explanations, I'd schedule 1 to 2 interviews a week. Again, start with the companies you don't care about. Then as you get better and better, you'll start acing the interviews, by which point you can schedule the companies you do care about. All those dream marketing roles, those places you want to work at. If you're lucky, you'll pass all your interviews on the first try. But for most of us, the job search journey is a process filled with many ups and downs. There's some interviews where you're lucky, you get a question about a campaign you've run before, or you can easily explain your optimization process. There'll be other times when you're sitting there for 30 minutes with no idea how to answer their strategic question. You're absolutely stumped, and you walk out of the interview dejected, demotivated. It's okay. It's happened to me before. It happens to all of us. And this is where most beginners make the third and arguably biggest mistake. They quit early. They give up and they start believing that the job search or digital marketing just isn't for them, that there's some marketing graduate that is smarter than them. I've been there. I felt that intense imposter syndrome when I was stuck in PR, feeling directionless. None of this is true. In fact, this video has taught you basically everything I learned through years of self-teaching and through my own personal experiences. So you're at no disadvantage. Keep your head high, keep your mindset strong, keep practicing campaign strategies, and taking more interviews. Focus on learning from the rejections and thinking about what you could have done better. Then go home and practice that same type of question again. Make sure you fully understand the approach. Then put that rejection in the past, focus on the next interview. Now here's the secret sauce for someone landing their first job: networking. Most marketing jobs are given to people they know or through referrals. So you gotta be aggressive. Ask for recommendations. At some point, I promise you'll pass the majority of interviews and it'll all be worth it. Remember, consistency is key. It makes all the difference. That's all I have. Until next time, cheers.